Good evening everyone, and I am back in Tenerife finally. If you are new to the channel, I do live here on the island of Tenerife, but I have just been away for 3 weeks to the USA. I've been in Florida for a couple of weeks, and I've also been in the UK as well. Filmed plenty of vlogs there, so they will be coming up on the channel. But for now, in this video, it is all about Tenerife and the latest news. I arrived back yesterday and things are not looking too good, particularly in the news in terms of figures, rumours of a second lockdown, extra restrictions, etc. So I'm going to run through all of that news with you now. If you are new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. I do these news updates every single week, along with various other Tenerife live streams, videos, etc. and soon to be lots of Florida content as well. So we're going to dive in where we always do, and that is with the COVID figures. At the moment, they are not the best at all. Across all of Europe, it has really jumped up, and it's no different here in Tenerife and the Canaries, but particularly Tenerife is not the best at the moment. So it starts with this headline: COVID update, Merry Christmas and a happy new lockdown. There are fears that we'll be heading to a lockdown with these new figures. Various people saying that people just aren't listening to the rules and restrictions that are given. In the update I did a couple of weeks ago, I did mention that we could rapidly start moving up these various different levels if we didn't get a hold of it, and it looks like we haven't. So we're currently in level 2, but we'll see. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. So in terms of new cases, this is as of Wednesday the 15th. New cases 1,207 across all of the islands, 792 new cases here in Tenerife. That's the highest we've ever seen. Gran Canaria 270, Fuerteventura 70, Lanzarote 60, La Palma 9, El Hierro 4 and La Gomera 2. Total active cases per island now, so across all of the islands we've got 8,612. That is a lot. Again, I think that's the highest it's ever been. For Tenerife, we've got over 4,000 active cases. Gran Canaria 3,202 active cases. Fuerteventura 941, Lanzarote 292, La Palma 102, La Gomera 22 and El Hierro 12. I remember when I could read off those last few and there'd be none over there. So we have really jumped up. There is big fears over this new variant as well. So that has triggered a move this week into level 3 restrictions. So we have now gone from level 2 up to level 3. That means even less capacity in the bars and restaurants, and a few other various rules I will run through here. But I do think if it continues on like this, we're going to be in level 4 next week. They did even suggest that we might jump a level and go straight to level 4 this week. So very concerning figures over here. I'm going to run through exactly what level 3 means for you if you are coming over or you're here currently. These are exactly what tier 3 or level 3 restrictions mean here in Tenerife. So masks have to be worn inside in supermarkets, when you're moving around inside of bars, restaurants. If you're not sat at a table, you do have to wear a mask when you're walking around. You don't have to wear them outside as long as you can maintain that 1.5 meter distance. Bars and restaurants can stay open until 2 AM if their license does allow it to stay open that late. Indoor capacity for bars and restaurants and cafes is restricted down to a 33% capacity and no more than 4 per table in that case. So no more than 4 at a table. If you are a bigger family, you will have to sit on separate tables. Beaches are restricted to 50% capacity and a maximum group of 4 again. Guided tours can have up to 20 people, and private gatherings should not exceed 6 people unless you are a household family. So they are the basics of tier 3. The main restrictions are in the bars and restaurants. Cinemas here as well reduced to 55%, gyms restricted to 33%. So it's those indoor locations are dramatically reduced, which is a bit of a shame. Having said that, I arrived back here last night, and looking around I was shocked at how quiet the island is. We were the only plane on the whole of Tenerife South Airport at the time. Flew through the airport because there was no one else around. Oh, got a friend. And yeah, when I pulled back into Los Cristianos, I was just amazed how quiet it was. I looked in some of the bars and restaurants at about 8 p.m. it was, and there was just really not much going on. So it does seem to have really gone quiet. I did read another article here that was saying that bookings to the Canaries from the UK have dropped by 60%. So I do think less people are travelling. Our EasyJet flight from Liverpool was at, say, 40% full. We had a row to ourselves. The row in front of us was empty. Very quiet flight. Now that does tie in as well with the new restrictions over here of children over the age of 12 having to be fully vaccinated to enter Tenerife, Spain, Canary Islands. So if you are travelling, you need to be fully vaccinated. A test is no longer possible. You have to be fully vaccinated, which has meant a lot of families have cancelled because their children that are over 12 aren't fully vaccinated yet. So we have seen a drop in those family bookings. In terms of children being vaccinated over here, 14,669 children under 11 already have an appointment for the COVID vaccine. So there's a lot of people signing up, registering to get the kids vaccinated. Yesterday morning, all of the islands started vaccinating children of this age who must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian for their inoculation. And there is a little bit of information here on where you can book in and the numbers you can call to register your children to be vaccinated there. I'll leave that link in the description. So basically, COVID-wise, really not doing too good at all. Massive increase. It's the same in the UK. I was reading an article here from the UK. People urged to socialise carefully as cases hit a new record. In the UK, you've also got new record numbers, particularly with this new variant, and they are really pushing people to get their boosters. Boosters over here, again, are running. It was still cracking our way through the vulnerable, so we're not as far advanced as the UK. The UK are calling anyone over 18 here. I would go and get it if I could, but we're still in the vulnerable stage. And again, I don't know over here if they are going to be vaccinating people with the booster of a different kind to what you've had, like they are in the UK. They're giving you a different vaccine to what you had first. I don't know if that's the case over here. I had 2 Pfizers, so hopefully I'll be given something else, because it is meant to increase immunity, but I don't know what Spain are doing, whether they're just giving you another one of the one you've already had or not. I'm not sure on that one. But as I said, overall, everywhere seems to be spiralling out of control a little bit. We could see it coming. I mentioned a few updates ago that we could easily spiral down. Unfortunately, we have, along with the rest of Europe as well. It was bound to happen over Christmas. And unfortunately, a lot of these Halloween parties, etc., they all went on and caused these big spikes as well. I did think they should have maybe reduced them a little bit more than they did, because now a lot of Christmas parties are going to be cancelled. I was speaking to someone over here as well who has children in the schools here, and she'd had a message from a child who was at school at the time and said there's a coronavirus positive case in every single class basically in their school, and a lot of it all was traced back to a concert that they had in a decky. So that's a shame. That concert there has caused a bit of a spread throughout the school. I don't know what will happen with the schools now, because when the cases got quite bad last time, they did end up closing and taking extra days off. But it does seem these concerts and these big gatherings have caused a few issues, and maybe they should have, in hindsight, reduced them a lot more, or not even had them at all, because we are really jeopardising Christmas now quite a bit. So that is Tenerife news basically covered in terms of the COVID rates moving up into level 3. It's not a huge drastic change. I wouldn't cancel your holiday over it, but just bear in mind there's going to be a few extra restrictions in those bars and restaurants, but they're not that busy at the moment, these current weeks anyway. I think once we get closer to Christmas, we'll see them pick up, but right now I wouldn't really see it as too much of a concern. I'm going to move on to La Palma. Bit of positive news from over there. Scientific data and logic suggests that the eruption is quite possibly over and finished. La Palma has woken up for the 3rd day to no activity from the volcano, and the question on everyone's lips is the eruption finally over? Residents say that for the first time in almost 3 months, they are waking up to the sound of birds singing. That must be nice. as opposed to the relentless rumble of the mountain continuing to pour lava and erupt. So there is some ash clouds still going. As you can imagine, it's still you know, sort of flowing a little bit, and there is a bit of an ash cloud, but the eruption itself has basically stopped 3 days in a row now, so they are really hoping that that has come to an end. It's going to take a little bit longer before they can determine it as finished, but it is very positive for those residents over there. As you can imagine, they can start to maybe think about rebuilding their lives. They've got a lot of government help coming in, particularly money wise, and then there is various charities etc helping out as well. I will leave all the links, again as I always do, in the description of the video if you want to donate to the animal charity over there or the government charity over there. Everything goes to them, and you can donate directly. There's a PayPal link, and there's also direct transfer bank details where they get 100% of anything you send. But that is quite a bit of positive news for them. The only downside of that is I know a lot of tourists were heading over there to watch the volcano, so it could be now it's stopped, people are going to stop going over and spending money, so there's a bit of a flip side to that. But overall, it needed to stop, and hopefully touch wood, it has. So very positive for them. And again, those links are in the description if you do want to help out. I know a lot of you already have. Moving on to another story from over here. Dead body found floating near the Los Cristianos dock. That's just over there behind me. The emergency services have informed that a tourist pleasure boat spotted a dead body floating in the sea approximately 1,000 meters from the port of Los Cristianos. That was at 10 a.m. Yesterday morning, or was it Tuesday morning? Up to now, there's not really many details about it. I imagine, unfortunately, it could quite possibly be one of the migrants who's tried to make a crossing, but that's unconfirmed. That's completely just rumour. I know there was a migrant boat arrived on La Gomera the other day, so quite possibly, unfortunately, it could be one of those, but we'll have to wait and see. Very sad either way. As I always mention, the seas here, very dangerous at times, and always do watch out for those flags on the beaches. I mention it in every update, and hopefully it does help you out. All the beaches that are manned with lifeguards etc do have the various coloured flags to indicate how dangerous it is to swim, how big the waves are etc. So green, all good. If it's a red flag, I would not suggest going for a swim. A lot of people do drown out here, so do be careful of that. And overall, that is most of the news covered. It's a mix of good and bad. Really not good with the COVID rates. What are your thoughts on it? Would you still come here if we went into level 4? Again, it's not too much of a difference between 3 and 4, mainly just those capacities dropping down again. Are you coming over for Christmas? Are you excited? Are you now a little bit put off by these restrictions and things taking a bit of a turn for the worse? Personally, I would not let it put you off coming on holiday. You should be excited to come. Everything, again, as always, is operating as normal, apart from reduced capacity in the restaurants. Look after yourselves, wear your mask when you're traveling. Make sure you got your vaccine certificate with you. Make sure you'd filled in the Spanish health form. Have plenty of masks with you, hand sanitizer. Come and have some safe fun, and don't let the levels and things distract you too much from having a good time. But on the other hand, we could easily carry on. We do need to get a grip of it and get these rates down. As I said, there's talk and rumours of another lockdown, and I really do not want one of them at all. I don't think we could handle another one of them either. But do let me know your thoughts, and if I missed anything in particular, drop your comments. I do go through the comments, and so do a lot of other viewers, to find out some additional information. Bear in mind, I've filmed this, and in half an hour things could change again and there could be some new news. So do always read the comments, and if you've got anything interesting or something I've missed, do drop it in the comments. As for the channel, now that I am back, we will be doing a few more live streams, but as I've mentioned to a few people, for the next couple of weeks we are going to have quite a lot of Florida content as well that I've filmed over there. I hope you do all enjoy it, and if it's not for you, just hang around and wait for some more Tenerife content to come out. But it will be a bit of a mix. I am excited to show you what we got up to in Florida, and I know a lot of people are excited for those vlogs as well. They're very easy going, just really good fun, us having a really good time on holiday, and everything to do with traveling to the US, traveling back, etc. When we came back, our test to get back into the UK was actually free. in America. At Walgreens pharmacy, we actually got those completely free, whereas if you were here in Tenerife and you wanted one, it would be about 35-40 euros. So interesting one that I do think every government should do the same. The US government there are subsidising the cost of those tests, which if you think about it logically, we've been over there, spent a few $1,000s, it's worth it for them. So should the Tenerife government here be subsidising the cost of those tests for you Brits, etc., to go back? Interesting topic. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments as well. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, hit the subscribe, it's completely free. It's lovely to be back, lovely weather, lovely and calm out here today. Boat trips have just gone past. We had the Muscat there, people having a swim. Weather is just as gorgeous as always. It's nice to be back, not nice to be back at work, grafting away. Cars are very busy still as well. But as I said, overall, not many people out and about. I am noticing a big difference from when we left 3 weeks ago. Big difference. So thank you very much for watching. Stride on. Do stay positive, do stay safe as well. Wear your masks, do put your hand sanitizer on. They're all just my opinions. Bear that in mind. I'm not an expert, but when you're out and about here, just be safe and you will have a really good time. Thanks very much, guys. Stride on.